Well, the price of everything is going up these days, that's for sure. Food, gas, and other staples. That's forcing some families to make tough choices about what they can and cannot afford. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Tamsen Fidel.
And I'm Erin LeBeau. So last month, consumer prices rose nearly 9% from a year ago. So the price of food has jumped nearly 12% over the past year, and that's the biggest increase since 1979. Now, milk prices are nearly 16% more expensive than a year ago, and that trickles down to other food groups as well.
Yeah, it sure does. Joining us now to talk about it and discuss ways families can save is Kia McAllister Young, the director of America Saves. Nice to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, so let's jump in and talk about it. We want to ask about the Fed's biggest interest rate hike since 1994, the impact that's going to have on families. What are we looking at?
Yeah, so the reason why they increased the interest rate is to try to encourage Americans to stop or slow their spending, right? And how that affects us on the day-to-day is that certain things are going to go up and increase. Credit card rates are going to increase. Student loan rates are going to increase. Home buyer mortgage rates are going to increase, and then those cars. But on the flip side of that, savings accounts, CDs, bonds, those interest rates will get a little bit higher for us. So there's some things that we're losing, some things that we're gaining. So yeah.
So break down for us the trend with these rising prices. Is there any relief in sight, or are things expected to get worse?
I wouldn't say worse, and I can't say that there's relief in sight. What I do know is that there are, we first start thinking to our Congress members for help. But I do know there are a lot of actual consumer advocacy groups that are working on behalf of the consumer, like America Saves Parents organization, the Consumer Federation of America. So there are a lot of people watching, people, working on the consumer's behalf to help with the price increases and inflation.
So you say one way families can save money is by reviewing household and product subscriptions. That always can catch you, right? You don't realize it until you're like, wait, another $4.99, another $14.99. It just happens, and all of a sudden it's, $100 plus a year.
Absolutely. I actually just had to do the exact same thing last month as I was going over my budget and found a lot of things that I didn't know were on subscription. So getting a clear view of your finances is the number one thing to do right now. And what I like to say is block off some time, this weekend or a coming up weekend, block out an hour or two, go back and look at your bank statements from the last 3 months first, and then I want you to go back a full year, because there are some things that are annual subscriptions that you won't see monthly. So start with those first 3 months, look through those bank statements, see what's coming out that you weren't even aware of, stop those subscriptions if you can do without them, but then continue to go back throughout a year to make sure that you're not missing anything that's an annual subscription as well.
So you also say it's a good time to take a closer look at your purchasing habits. How can someone decide between what's necessary and what's not? I guess what I like to think of, your needs and your wants.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is we all get a choice, and we all get to decide what is important to us and what isn't. So as you're getting that clear view of your finances, looking at your income, looking at what your expenses are, you get to decide, okay, is this something that I like coming out? You get to decide what is too much and what is not enough. So if you just see that you're spending a lot eating out, but you don't want to change that, what you may decide is, okay, I need to find a different additional income to add to my household, maybe taking up gig economy jobs, doing Uber or DoorDash or something like that. But we say an informed saver is an empowered saver. So as you're looking at those expenses that you have going out, you get to decide if you want to keep that expense or if it's something that you are willing to cut back on. But you get to make that decision. Don't let anyone else guilt you into certain things. Go with what feels best for you and your family.
So what are some ways people can take advantage of SNAP or EBT benefits?
Yeah, so it's all about qualifications, right? So you want to go and make sure you qualify first. But when you do, a lot of things that people don't know is you can do things like start a garden with SNAP and EBT benefits. I've seen it when you go to the garden section in the plants at Walmart. You can actually purchase those. So I think that is a really cool project for your family if you have a space where you can do that, or you can even do it as a container garden in your backyard, even if you don't have a yard when you live in an apartment or something like that. So, and it's an activity where you guys can bond together. So there are lots of different ways that you can take up SNAP and EBT benefits if you actually qualify for them.
Okay, so you also suggest that people do price comparing. What are some easy ways to do that?
Yeah, so they do have a lot of apps that will help you to make it easy. The one thing you want to make sure, though, if you are, taking up these apps and using them, is that you're looking at the data privacy. What privacy practices do those apps have, and are you comfortable with those? That's always important when you are downloading and using any type of app. We always say if it's free, then that means the actual product is the person, right? And your information. So make sure that you're okay with the data privacy practices that they have. But apps are an easy way for you to compare, or you can do old school. Look at the circulars, look at that junk mail that we get to see, what are the best prices for the things that you're looking for.
All right, last but not least, and quickly, we have to talk about gas prices. People, we don't have control over how much it costs, and we have to keep buying it. So what are some of the ways you could possibly save?
Yeah, so really quickly, using cash instead of credit so that you're paying it if you have it. Grocery store rewards cards, you can save quite a bit off at the gas price if you're loyal to a certain grocery store. If you do use credit cards and you have great credit and you pay it off every month, they have gas reward cards as well. Stopping the idling. If you're like me and like to sit in the driveway for a little bit before you go inside to the kids, maybe don't do that right now. Find another quiet space. And then looking at your tire pressure as well is always a good thing to help get as much mileage as you can on gas.
All right, that idling before trying to contemplating if you're going to go into the gym, that's for me. Well, Kia, thank you so much for joining us and sharing all your tips. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.